dumbbell shoulder press, specifically on a completely upright bench. So I actually prefer this movement more than the barbell shoulder press just because I get a wider range of motion, right? But we'll get into that in a second. So the purpose of this movement obviously is to focus on the front delt, and again also obviously as well the overall shoulder, but more specifically the front delt. This is great for getting weight up, right? If you focus on numbers specifically, like lifting heavy weight, this is a great movement to measure your strength with. It varies differently in two ways compared to the shoulder press with the barbell. One, because you're obviously sitting, so there's more stability right there and it takes some pressure off your back. Two, it allows a wider range of motion, right? Because with the barbell, you can only go so far down before it touches your chest. With this, it gives you a little extra range of motion, right? You can get a little bit deeper, get those dumbbells to touch your shoulder. It's gonna be hard for people that don't have the great mobility, so it's good to train because one, if you don't have great shoulder mobility or stability, this is obviously the movement for you because we need flexibility in our shoulders and the mobility and stabilization in our shoulders just for everyday usage, right? The more stable your shoulders are and the more flexible they are, the more overall health you'll have in just life in general, okay? Again, the cues for this is we want to have all our joints stacked properly. So I want my elbows underneath my shoulder joints. When I go for this, I'm going to keep my shoulder blades tucked so my chest is up. We're not looking for a super big arch on this because again, the more we arch, the more we emphasize our chest in it. So we want to try to keep it as flat onto the bench as possible with our shoulder blades retracted, not pushing too much up. So we start, right? My elbows are underneath my shoulder joints. I have my arms slightly tucked in like this. I'm not all the way flared out. You can do it either way though. So this is where it varies, right? So you can either go all kind of slightly in for more stability, or you can go all the way out if you have the stabilization for it and the mobility for it, okay? So the cues, again, we're here, we lift it up. Have a big breath, joints are stacked properly. When I go, I exhale and I press, make dumbbells touch all the way up, and I'm actually trying to fight it and slowly go down with the weight, right? We're trying to get that time under tension. The stronger we are with time under tension, the more weight we'll eventually be able to lift in the long run. So we're slowly going down, trying to fight it, feel that stretch, especially when we hit the dumbbells on our shoulder, right? We want to get all the way down, full range of motion, so we can get that stretch in our shoulders. And then once we touch, press, okay? That is the dumbbell shoulder press. There is no perfect way, right? Some studies say that you get more shoulders growth by pressing all the way out like this, but again, that requires more mobility and stability. So the safest way to start is just start kind of closer in and press. Keep that breath tight, keep the abs braced, don't arch too much, and have fun.